Hello guys, it's Chumma doing another Beyblade unboxing. This time we have Leone. So yeah, the Beyblade X remake of Leone. Got Kyoya there, Leone. So definitely a nice metal fight reference. Definitely kind of an awkward box size, but whatever. They definitely have the art right, I would say, so that's cool. Here is the back as well. So anyway, go ahead and get this opened up. Alright, have everything out of the box now. So first up, there is a sticker sheet here, so I will have to cut the video to do this, which means I'm probably just going to do a quick overview of the parts before we do this and get into the actual video, but anyway. Also got the instructions. As far as parts go, we do have a gear needle kind of in white here, which I do have opinions on this. We'll get to that a little later though. Also have the ratchet, a nice white 680, which fine enough, honestly. Don't really have any issues with this one. And then we have the Leone blade, which, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. So again, had to put stickers on, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we can get into the actual video. Alright, stickers are on. Here we go. That is a proper look at Leone. So anyway, before I continue on, let's go ahead and do part weights. So gear needle, 2.03, 680, 6.83, and of course Leone, 29.65, so basically unusable. And the full combo is going to be 38.52. We have blades heavier than this, so definitely not good at all. But that is how remakes tend to go anyway, so I'm not surprised. Now, putting this thing together, let's see what the full combo actually looks like. So, Leone, 680 gear needle. Okay, so before I do anything else, let's go ahead and do some comparisons actually. So I have the burst version here, the other remake, and you can see it's way bigger, so definitely interesting. And of course I also do have the original, and yeah, I think this looks closer to the original than the burst one, but yeah. Way taller. And it says wide ball. This yeah, it's not very close, but we'll talk about that. So yeah, my biggest problem with this remake is just gear needle. I know they've been doing this thing where, you know, every type has to be like super specific, but I really just don't like that. I don't see why you can't throw gear ball or even wall ball on this thing. I know it's technically stamina in this gen, but ball-based bits have different movement than needle-based bits, and I think that would work a lot better for a Leone remake. I don't think gear needle really encapsulates the idea of Leone very well, at least not to me personally. So even though it was a weird technicality, I still do believe we should have gotten either one of those bits on this rather than gear needle. I don't think that was a very good choice at all, personally. I know there is a white gear ball as well as a white wall ball, which actually came in Random Booster Volume 7. I believe in the Leone video by Takara they did show putting that on this. Unfortunately, my full thought's not here yet, so I can't really show that, but they advertised it because they knew it would make sense, and, well, they didn't release like that because, again, stupid type restrictions that are just really arbitrary. I made a whole video on this last year. Or maybe they just want to sell more random boosters. Either one works. But regardless, I just don't think this was a good choice at all. Now, 680 I think is fine. 6 sides I think for rock. Sure, could have done 3 or 9, but I think 6 is perfectly fine. No issues here. 80 height makes sense. 145 was a taller track in Metal Fight. Well, at least when it was released it was tall. So 80 I think is a good choice here. So 680, no complaints on that. And then yeah, Leone. The blade actually looks pretty good. I think that, you know, it ended up having a pretty good shape to it. The weight is very unfortunate, but again, remakes, that's just kind of what I expect at this point, unfortunately. But I do think that, aside from that, it looks good. Obviously, I have the 3 prongs now instead of 2, so we just get an extra sticker, have the same kind of camo look though, works fine. Aesthetically, I'll give this thing a nice 7 out of 10. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but I think it's still good. From a top-down view, this thing actually looks almost perfect, but when you flip it over, yeah, there's some problems here. I mean, 680 is fine. Again, it's X, it's not going to be perfect. But yeah, Gear Needle, I think, just looks wrong. Don't like that. Probably should have been better. But yeah, aside from that, I guess Rock is maybe a little thin. Could have come down a bit more, but it's not bad. Just maybe a little bit, but yeah. I'd still give it a 9 if it had like Wall Ball or Gear Ball, I'd say, because it's actually pretty good, but yeah. Aesthetically, there probably should have been a bit more depth to Rock, but again, it's not horrible. Still worthy of a 9 with a proper bit, but without that, it is a 7 because, yeah, Gear Needle is just not a great choice in my opinion. Conceptually, I'm going to give this thing a 5 out of 10. Despite my gripes with Gear Needle, I think it is still overall okay. I mean, Gear Needle is still a defensive bit, and being a gear bit, it does have a bit of counterattack potential to it. Obviously, gear bits can get to the extreme line easier. And I think, Rock Leone having a counterattack makes sense. I mean, its evolution thing, Leone had a counter mode that was pretty much always used in the anime. So I think a gear bit makes a lot of sense, which is why I think Gear Ball would have been a good choice. Though I would have taken Wall Ball as well, just for the, WB namesake, and I think it still works fine regardless. But it's at least kinda close, it's just not a ball shape, which I think really messes up the movement pattern and doesn't represent Rock Leone quite well enough, but it's still okay. But overall, I do think it's a decent remake. If they could have just gotten that bit right, this probably would have been arguably the best remake. I mean, again, I think the Blade turned out really well. Conceptually, it's not bad, but it's definitely a lot better than some of the other remakes we've gotten that have just had really, really strange part choices that just do not make any sense at all. I mean, at least Gear Needle makes a little sense being a defense bit, but I mean, other things have just been really strange, like 260 on Victory Valkyrie, for example. We don't have anything like that here, at least. But overall, yeah, this is still a solid remake. Nice to have Rock Leone in Beyblade. It's definitely a cool motif from Metal Fight, so hopefully next we get a Burst remake, which I think the next remake is in December, so still a while off. But I'm definitely hoping for a Burst one there. But anyways, that's all for this video, so yeah, hopefully I get my random booster full set next week. Again, I hope, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.